Morning, ladies and gentlemen. So we have been discussing all the day-to-day AI and blockchain. How do you feel about AI and blockchain today? What are your opinions? What do you think is AI and blockchain? Maybe can we have some show of hands who can answer it in one word, maybe for AI? What do you think about AI or blockchain? Yes, please.
AI, automation.
Automation. Thank you, gentlemen. Yes?
Seamless.
Seamless. Wow. Okay. Any other? It's good. So leveraging AI and blockchain for financial security and transparency. Why do we need them? It's now a necessity. It is now we need it. So see how many of us, maybe we can just go to the ChatGPT and ask what is AI and what is AI and blockchain. It can give us an answer, but even if you say that, it's just stop asking ChatGPT and start working. That's where you will really learn to understand what is AI and blockchain. Because, as mentioned, we are having so much of data which is really being growing, which is the big data, and we have so many transactions. Before, as money has been evolving from the barter trade to the cash, and from the cash to the financial technology where we are transacting while using our fintech. So a lot of transactions are being, maybe like billions of transactions every day in each country are being handled. Maybe you're selling 100 T shillings, 1000 T shillings, using Celcom, using CRTV, using a number of platforms, maybe M-Pesa. So because the data is being so big, we need some security and analysis as well. That is where you do the leveraging of AI and the blockchain. So that has been the main problem, because sometimes we never know, maybe in account, how many of us we received some fake SMS saying that we need your PIN or password, so that we have to recorrect your account, or asking for your confidential bank data and being like a fake bank officer, so that they could really entrap or encash your account. I think most of us we have been receiving them. Myself, I have received a couple of times by someone calling, I belong to Airtel, they need your PIN, there's some money which have been transferred, or N numbers. We have always received so many phishing calls and so many fake calls. So because of that, we are using now, the cash is being handled by the system, technology. We need more security so that the money which is being transacted is also having a greater security. That is why AI and blockchain really come into the picture. And not only in Tanzania, I think the whole Africa, we just need more and more transparency and more accessibility for all of this. So in the recent, it has been reported that more than $4 billion has been in the financial losses just due to security issues. And this calls for a robust and scalable solutions. Don't you think so? Yes, we all think. So we need solutions when we're having such big data, such big issues, such big transactions. How are we going to really handle them? How are we going to manage these transactions? How are we going to make it more secure? So that's the big challenge. Let's see. The challenge, security and transparency in finance. So the legacy system struggles. Old systems struggle with data breaches and opaque processes because of brick and mortar, and we have more traditional processes that really make a big difference in the way we are operating now. And enrolling public trust, because we are not having the audit trail, we are not having the accounting trail from end to end. And that is why you can see there being many high-profile fraud cases in public trust and in financial institutions. And there's been a regulatory pressure because they're not able to handle how to really audit them, how to really check them, how to really govern them, so that it could be easy with this modern level of finance and modern level of technology to really grow in the next level so that they could handle the e-cash or maybe the online money, what we are doing right now, and to really safeguard our money, to safeguard. But just imagine if one person having a small money in the account, think in the terms of millions and billions, how much money are we handling? And example, even if someone is able to steal or even fraudulently 0.1% of that amount, it will be in billions of dollars. So to safeguard that money, because money was never in digital form before, and now it is in digital form, and that is where the real issue of blockchain and AI has come into picture. So let's see how it goes. So let's see what's a blockchain. You know, everyone, we just come up with the fancy term blockchain, but really we don't understand. So let me explain to you what is blockchain in just a layman language and what it is speaking. So blockchain is generally a decentralized ledger, which is, it's just like a pack of blocks. So just imagine you are having a building, but a building can't be made if all the bricks are not there in the respective building, the construction. So every block is combined and it forms a building. Similarly, in the digital world, we need a blockchain. Blockchain is, it's like every block is integrated so that no data can be edited or changed, and there is an audit rate from the start to end. For example, X is transferring to Y the amount, so that will be recorded in one block and it can't be changed. X has transferred to Y and a certain amount has been transferred, and that is a permanent register, and that information is stored forever. And with this blockchain, you are able to verify all the transactions by any network participant, because the data is completely open, secure, and uneditable. So unless major causes, so it stays till the end. Even if X has transferred to Y, and if the Y, again it has been refunded back or cancelled, the same again is noted down in blockchain. So that adds that there is a clarity of information and transparency. So in the future, it is really helpful for any bank or any institutions or maybe the central banks to really govern them and audit them. And you can just see how it happens. So blockchain is driving transparency. It is giving the permanency in the reports. Every transaction is recorded permanently on a shared ledger. And the consensus validation ensures accuracy and reduces manipulation and real-time access. Regulators get real-time, auditable and access to data. So that's where the big issue with the traditional data and traditional collection of information has been there, where the regulatories, the boards of the government, boards of the regulators of the respective industry are able to govern easily, because there will be access to the regulatory, there will be access to the respective institution, there will be access to the respective stakeholder who is the client, who is doing at the end user. So it will be like centralized but decentralized information. So that is the blockchain. So blockchain is basically like the security or the integrity of the information. And artificial intelligence plays a key role in analyzing the data. As mentioned in the previous speeches, we have so much data. How are we going to analyze this? It's not possible by a human being to really do that. A billion of transactions, how are we going to analyze? It's not possible. Maybe if you put even 100,000 employees, they can't do this. And that is where artificial intelligence really comes in financial security. With the advanced algorithms of artificial intelligence, we can analyze large transaction data and threats. So it can be continuously monitoring what are the real issues, what are the real breaches or security breaches, or it can help in the fraud detections. So it can also help in the real-time fraud detection. Real-time fraud detection outpaces legacy, and legacy tools swiftly. And we have more and more adaptive models, machine learning models adapt to emerging fraud patterns. So Even when there was traditional brick and mortar, there were frauds happening. But then it went to slow digitalization. Then also frauds started happening. But now we are in the age of digital and fintech, still frauds are happening. So you need to have new algorithms and machine learning so that it could really help. So when you have algorithm in the artificial intelligence, the advanced algorithms and keeps on changing, and that really helps in the financial security. And then with this financial security and blockchain, it really curbs almost, we can save maybe like 2x or 3x of the future predicted losses or the current predicted losses. So it's an emergency that we all require. It is not a future now more, it is now we should really handle it. So how AI and blockchain work together? That's what we should learn, we should understand. AI is for analyzing the data, it's screening the data, and then blockchain it provides data integrity and data storage. So it is instant anomaly detection. AI analyzes blockchain data for instant any errors or any issues, and secure identity checks. AI-powered identity checks enhance blockchain security. And there's an end-to-end visibility, that's the transparency. We need transparency. Automated alerts and audit trails provide full visibility. So that's the main core of AI and blockchain. That's where we can really make that AI and blockchain that to sync the transparency and the data protection. Enhancing financial transparency with smart contracts. So with the smart contracts, we can smart contracts execute automatically the contracts when conditions are met. Maybe like example, you have escrow accounts with the bank. You know right now many of the banks are using AI to just approve the loan, so that they analyzing your transactions. It analyzes your transaction. It analyzes your balance sheet. It analyzes your capacity, and they say, okay, you're eligible for 10 million or 100 million or 15 million, and it is all AI generated. Nobody is working at the back end and approving it. So it's with the smart contract is inbuilt, because when you're taking the loan, automatically the contract means when you say you agree, it means the contract is approved. And faster transactions. They remove the middleman, speeding transactions and lowering costs. Because technology once built can be used by millions of them at the same cost. And visible actions. All actions are visible and auditable, reducing the manipulation. Because there's so many middlemen which really have the issues. I mean, they will care to the founder, or maybe due to they want some commission or they want some money. For that reason, we are not able to get things done. But here, there's a transparency by the bank, by the financial institutions, by the regulatory, and the fraudulent activities can be reduced to the maximum extent. Let's see one of the case study. So HSBC has been using blockchain for trade finance. So HSBC is one of the largest banks in the world. So HSBC uses blockchain for real-time data access in trade finance. It reduced the fraud. This led to fewer fraud incidents and stronger partner trust. And it shows practical, large-scale impact in traditional banking. Because this really helps. Because using this, they were able to, at least I remember I was reading this article, they were able to minimize the frauds by 40% by using blockchain. Because now, neither the staff, neither the bank, neither the customer, no one can agree, no one can disagree or agree to disagree. Because everything is recorded and subject to the blockchain and the computer. So that's where really HSBC has pioneered. I think this is one case study which we can really use it, and maybe it can be really helpful for other financial institutions and the future of fintech in Africa as well. The MasterCard, AI and blockchain fraud prevention. AI analyzes billions, AI analyzes trillions of transactions yearly for fraud signals. So in MasterCard, AI has been analyzing billions of transactions, and MasterCard and Visa are one of the largest entities for the card payments. So they need a huge security which they can safeguard people's money and transactions, and blockchain has been really helping them. And blockchain records suspicious events and flagged and recorded on blockchain. So if they find that if anything is really not happening as per the protocols or any uneven transactions, they record it and then they suspect it and then they checked again, so that's where the blockchain can really help out. And there's a huge fraud drop. This resulted in a measurable drop in successful fraud attempts. So when you compare and you see, because when you're able to catch, it's always, when you go to a doctor, what is that thing, if the doctor is able to find what is the problem, the solution is 1 minute. But 90% of the time, it's just diagnosing the problem is the biggest challenge for a doctor because of the multiple ailments in the body. In a similar way, when you're able to find where the best, what is the cause or what is the real root of the problem, then you can really arrest the symptom. So that's where even blockchain has been really helping out for in MasterCard, in getting down the fraudulent activities. And the future of AI and blockchain for African finance industry. So how many of you think it is not the future but it is the present? By show of hands. So we see very few believers yet in blockchain and AI. It's good to see, but maybe it might be today, it just might be a difficult term, but tomorrow it will be a necessity which is really required. Because you see, when you have AI plus blockchain, which AI surveys and analyzes things, and blockchain for the integrity of the data, it reduces the fraud by 30 to 40%. And that's what we're expecting in the next 5 years in Africa. And adoption by firms, I think, as like these sessions, it provides knowledge and education regarding fintech, regarding blockchain and AI, and this event. So this really educate the organizations and entities, and that will really help them to adopt, because everything starts with confusion. The word clarity, you also see, confusion was taught by my mentor, because when you get confused, that's where you learn things and then you start to get clarity over it, and foundation for ecosystem. So I think Africa is preparing really a strong foundation for secure, transparent and inclusive system. Don't you think so? Yes. So even if it is yes or no, it is 100% yes. So that's where we are really going through. So let's have a short Q&A session. So maybe let's restrict to 5 questions. So yeah, any questions are really welcome. And thank you for the time today.
My question is on IP rights, especially for those startups that are using AI to build their software or their solution. So how does IP rights work for a startup of that kind? I believe some of you might have heard the term of vibe coders, and nowadays it's very easy to come up with an MVP in like an app, specific hours, or like 2 to 3 days. That's the first question. The second question is on using AI, blockchain, and fintech to reach marginalized communities in the aspect of credit, because most businesses, small businesses, and individuals in Africa don't have the collateral to back up and get loans from banks. So, what's your take on that?
Thank you, Paul. So I think let me answer your second question first. I think once you build the tech, which is the back-end tech or the core tech of the AI and blockchain, and then it can be used by all the it can be used by the big institutions as well as the marginalized groups, because when you build a tech, it is expensive, but when you start leveraging it to many people, then you can have reduced cost. So that's where I think the big institutions as well as the smaller institutions and microfinance platforms can really use it. But coming to the IP rights, I think I'm not the right person to answer it, but I think it's the government which can really have a stronger, robust system in providing the better IP protection for each country in Africa that could really protect each, the innovativeness and the creativity of the citizens of the country. Thank you.
Great answer. Good morning. My name is Asman Tantir. I'm a smart contract developer. I have not a question, but like suggesting some more synergy. One of the main things that blockchain is really good at is provenance, like proving where something comes from, right? Alice has made a transaction with Bob, and it's there on the blockchain, and everyone knows it. I suggest as well with AI to combat issues with like deepfakes and who is saying where is the source of this information? Is it just AI generated as well? To have systems that implement generative AI having the provenance of blockchain, that this was generated by certain chain, certain model, and then that is proved on blockchain or whatever choose. So that's that additional one synergy between AI and blockchain.
Sure, thank you, gentlemen. It was a nice advice. Yeah, do you have any other questions?
Thank you, Yusuf, for your presentation. I'm called Beatrice from Highland.io, Uganda. So I would like to pick your mind on what you think about the ethical use of AI, when it comes to fintech or technology enabled solutions generally. Why? Because recently we've had a case of an Indian startup that posed as an AI software enabled, development side, but then in actual sense they had a whole room like this filled with software developers and building a tech. So I would like to pick your mind on the ethical use of AI when it comes to technology. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yes, recently when I saw that a no-code platform, I think it's an AI no-code platform, which was a US-based Indian startup. So they said that we do coding just based on the AI, but they saw that they have a group of engineers who are sitting at the back end in India and doing the work. But I think, always when we are growing, there's always goods and bads. And then, yes, we never know, even the person developing or person growing, you never know what are the risks and really what are the issues. But I think it comes on what are the real troubles, and then we need to arrest the troubles. Because yes, the ethical concerns are always there because it's a new technology which is really emerging in the worldwide, and everyone is very new, and we're just starting with this level 1, that's generative AI. We have not reached yet the advanced AI yet. Well, yes, some ethical concerns are always there, but always we have to, the due diligence and the checking of each company has to be done by the respective governments and the statutory regulatories, so that they could really curb the fraudulent activities being done. And obviously, yes, ethical reasons should be also in the tech as well as even in the fintech and everywhere, because there's a way to even you can curb, like recently I was saying, you see many memes by the President Trump or anything else, because there are many famous personalities worldwide, but I think they're just using AI. But I think slowly they're coming with issues, and now you can even see when you're generating an AI image and sharing it on LinkedIn, you can see there is a AI mark on that, so you know that's an AI generated. So slowly I think things are coming up, even the regulatory and the grievances, so that they could differentiate between AI and what was really original photo or original things, original content. Thank you. Yes, sir.
for a good presentation. My name is Amos George. I'm a student at IFM and a very good enthusiast of AI, blockchain, and fintech. I just wanted a simple advice for someone like me who is a student becoming a professional. Like, what do you advise me in case I want to start my own fintech? How would I leverage it with AI and blockchain? Like, what steps should I take starting from the very baseline?
Okay. No issue. Thank you, gentlemen. I think this is a very good question and it might be helpful to many of the students and many of us, even me and myself. Yeah, it's a very good question because as the previous presenter and second presenter they said, now it's a world of AI. It's just your brain. If you're using, you're a coder, you're an animator, you're a developer, you're all in one because AI is, AI and all the tools are available and as the previous pie chart they said, that you just need two computers and your platform to learn and grow and focus, and then you can just use them and educate yourself and develop and watch your resource. So answering this question, I would say, as internet is filled with a lot of data, you can just go to YouTube, Google, and all this stuff. Just whatever concepts you see AI, read through it, go through some free curriculums or courses, go through blockchain and the fintech, go through them. And then, in AI, the beauty of AI is, even I created a software using AI. You don't need to be a coder. I'm not a coder, I'm not a developer. I created, I created a small movie using AI. So you don't need to have any knowledge of anything, but it's just your vision, passion, and commitment, and then you can really make it happen. There is one website, I just forgot it. I think this one website, you can just develop all the coding also onto that. So it's your vision and how you would really learn. And one skill is the prompt engineering. I would really prefer. If you can prompt it well, the better you can prompt well, the better AI can really respond and it can really do things and you can learn. So these are the future skills which you just need a computer and your focus, your deep focus. Your deep focus and deep commitment, and you have a great visionary idea. Maybe you felt that this idea could really change the world or change Tanzania, change Africa. And that's where you can come up and you will be tomorrow one of the greatest startups in the world. Thank you. So we can take a last question if anything is there.
Any last questions?
Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the patience and listening, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Have a nice day.